I think that inconsistency is kind of the killer of trust. And I think it can go between the leadership and the teams, and it also comes between the brands and the customers. So I think having that consistency on that vision and making sure that it's really about, to me, the feeling that you get when you are in a store, when you are in, like what you were talking about, you had a really good feeling when you were at Sephora. You felt supported. You felt that you could have your needs met. You felt happy. You felt joy because people were kind to you. I had a really interesting experience. I went to La Printemps in New York, which is like the famous Paris store. I kind of had expectations, especially when you go into luxury places. You're kind of like, oh, sometimes they're not always super friendly, or really, they're not there to necessarily educate you sometimes. And it was the opposite feeling. People were so kind. They wanted to tell me the history of the architecture. I mean, everywhere I went, I felt just welcomed, and like I would never not go there and not go back, because the experience was so wonderful, and it was consistent throughout the entire store, and it was very consistent with their branding and with their entire merchandising messaging of having just this special, unique, curated offering. And so the service level was something that really kind of just threw me, because I wasn't expecting that, but I was so delightfully surprised. And so I think that's another area of just that consistency. If you're going to project this image, if you're going to have this mission, this vision, it's like it has to go down at every single level. And it starts with leaders. It really starts with the leadership, and it trickles all the way down to the people who are working in your warehouse. Like, it has to be at every single level of having that consistency in brand.
And
Can
it's
I build on
absolutely
that for a
joyous.
second?
Sorry.
Absolutely. No, go
So,
ahead.
only reason that this got me thinking is consistency can also be consistency of inconsistency. Meaning, I think about something like a Trader Joe's or an HEB, where there's a lot of consistency across the board, and yet every Trader Joe's you go into maybe has a slightly different assortment, and you're sort of on the treasure hunt to find like whatever the latest Trader Joe's thing
Yeah.
is. Same thing with HEB. There's a lot of localization in the stores, and so what's consistent is each store's empowerment to actually find a way to surprise and delight their customers, so that
Yeah.
it's not, I think about places where you see a lot of beautiful consistency, like a Sephora, like a Printemps, and that's part of the brand, and it's a beautiful part of the experience, and that's what you expect. But when the consistency is inconsistency because it's a surprise and delight or part of the customer experience, that's a great thing as well, as long as, to Marisa's point, it's intentional. It's a line from the leadership. It's a line from the warehouses. And it's something that you're building as part of your value prop on the retail side.
And you're putting your customer first. I think that's always kind of that's the through line. As long as like the customer experience is being put first, and that's where you're finding your consistency, I think that's where you win.
Exactly.